What's going on, everybody? Ochoa here from SB Nation's bloggingtheboys.com. Hope all is well wherever you are. We hope you're happy, safe, healthy, and enjoying the return of some sports. We've seen the PGA Tour come back. I'm a big golf fan myself. We've seen some international soccer, glory, Man United, and we're all still waiting on the NFL. Obviously still waiting on other domestic sports as well, the NBA, Major League Baseball, and whatnot. The NFL, we are in late June, early July, depending on exactly when you're finding us. Make sure while you're here to subscribe to the official Blogging the Boys YouTube channel so you see all of our fantastic videos and film breakdowns and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, this is such a strange place to be as an NFL fan because we're not used to seeing football at this time normally. However, we are used to having seen some mini camps, some OTAs, things like that. Normally around this time, we'd be saying, these are the last few weeks. Training camp is just around the corner. And we do know that all NFL teams are scheduled to report to their respective training camps on July 28th. Now, we also know that each team's training camp will be taking place at their home facilities. For the Dallas Cowboys, this means that they will not be training out on the left coast in Oxnard, California. They will, in fact, be training at their world headquarters, the Star in Frisco. Now, here's something else we know about the Dallas Cowboys that we learned last week. When it comes to training camp, you're getting that time of year and preseason and whatnot. The Dallas Cowboys were scheduled to play in the Pro Football Hall of Fame game this year against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jimmy Johnson going to the Hall of Fame, Bill Cowher going to the Hall of Fame, so the Hall elected to have the Cowboys and Steelers play in their honor. That game has been canceled, postponed, depending on how you want to look at it. The Pro Football Hall of Fame announcing last week that the Hall of Fame game between the Cowboys and Steelers will still take place. However, it will not happen until next year, which is a weird decision. Typically they do pick teams that represent the people that are going into the Hall of Fame that year's class. And if they're going to push the 2020 class's celebration to August of 2021, they would seemingly be honoring the class of 2021 that will feature Peyton Manning as one example. And so I don't know why they would already decide that it's going to be the Cowboys and Steelers, but hey, that's up to them. We do know, though, that the Cowboys and Steelers will not be in the Hall of Fame game this year. Playing in the Hall of Fame game does add a fifth preseason game to your schedule, but because of that, you do get to report to training camp early. The Cowboys also were scheduled to begin mini camps and OTAs earlier than most teams because they have a new head coach in Mike McCarthy. They were supposed to start way back on April 6th. They obviously did not get to do that, and because there will be no Hall of Fame game, they will get no other quote-unquote advantage in that respect either. So the COVID-19 pandemic has obviously caused an effect in every facet of our lives, and the NFL really had marched on. They were able to conduct free agency generally about as normally as usual. They were able to conduct the NFL draft, obviously in a socially distanced sense. The cancellation of the Pro Football Hall of Fame game is the first real seismic wave that the coronavirus pandemic has caused within the NFL. We will see what happens on July 28th. Obviously, there's a lot that can happen between now and then just in terms of football operations. Obviously, before July 28th is July 15th. That is the deadline for the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott, who did sign his franchise tag last week. That is the deadline for them to strike a long-term deal. If you are somehow unaware, if the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott do not agree and have one signed, agree to terms on a long-term contract and have that signed, I should say, then they cannot do that. If it's July 16th and there is no long-term agreement between Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys, they literally cannot negotiate a new one until the new league year begins in 2021. So there is a lot of pressure to get things done by July 15th. Meanwhile, there are other rumors floating around in the ether. Jamal Adams, obviously, always a hot subject. Jadeveon Clowney, we learned last week, thanks to Tony Pauline at Pro Football Network, that the Dallas Cowboys and New Orleans Saints are among the two teams at the top of his preferred list. Clowney apparently wants to play for a playoff contender. Obviously, the Cowboys play on a lot of nationally televised games, so it makes sense for a lot of reasons, but we'll see what happens there. The Dallas Cowboys have a little bit over $11 million in salary cap space at the moment. Obviously, negotiating a long-term deal with Dak Prescott could adjust that in a positive direction for them, but that all remains to be seen. As mentioned, make sure you subscribe right here to the official Blogging the Boys YouTube channel so you don't miss any of our videos. We give you updates on everything happening with America's team. Make sure you subscribe to the Blogging the Boys podcast network. We're available wherever you get podcasts. That's Apple devices, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher. You can follow me on Twitter or Instagram at RJ Ochoa, and you can do me one last favor. You're going to have a great day. You know why? Because you deserve it. We'll see you next time.